Hey peeps, welcome back! And we are now in the Hotel Ubu, where this mysterious Mr. Khan is supposed to be staying. And we've just tried to get that key, and failed miserably because of this git here. Now, we want to quiz him a little more.
What now, monsieur?
Alright, grumpy git. Right, we'll show him the photo.
Do you recognize the man in this photograph?
Yes, monsieur. That man is one of our guests.
What name?
I cannot tell you that.
Sorry peeps, just had to adjust my volume there. Okay, so he's refusing to help us. So, alright, we'll leave him for now.
Thanks for your help, buddy.
Okay, now we want to go over to this lady playing the piano. She can be very useful. And hilarious. I might
Hi
add.
there, ma'am.
Well, hello. What can I do for you?
I'm looking for a man.
You disappoint me, my dear. For one foolish moment I thought... But never mind. Aren't you going to tell me your name?
George Stobart, ma'am.
How sweet! I once had a stable boy called George. I am Lady Piermont. The common reaction is to kneel and stutter, but it's not obligatory.
A real lady? I mean, you're an honest-to-God aristocrat?
Oh, I don't know about that. Few of my ancestors are honest, not even to God. I can trace my family back to the Normans, but don't let that intimidate you, George. Beneath that impressive pedigree, I'm just flesh and blood. The blood may be blue, but the flesh is the plump beef of old England, so to speak. You appear distracted, George. Is there any way I can help you?
Well, yes, in fact, there is. Now, we want to ask her about herself first.
Are you here in Paris on vacation?
No, darling, I'm on holiday. I needed to get away after Algy's funeral.
I didn't realize you were mourning the loss of a loved one.
I'm not. He was my husband.
Oh dear. Anyway, let's carry on. Find out a little bit more about Lady Piermont.
I'm sorry to hear about your husband's death.
You wouldn't be if you knew him, my dear. It gave me the opportunity to take a well-deserved holiday. Daphne suggested a change of scenery. Paris, she said. A wild romance is just what you need to take your mind off the inquest. Well, the closest I came to romance was being wooed by a drunken Breton chef. I must say I was disappointed with his coq au vin. Not at all what I was expecting. I was thinking of cutting my holiday short, packing my bags and heading back to Hemel Hempstead. That was until last night.
Ooh, mysterious. Let's find out more.
What happened to you last night?
I was stricken, Mr. Stobart. Cupid's arrow has cleft my bosom.
They couldn't really miss.
It was just as I'd always imagined it should be. The intimacy of candlelight, romantic music tinkling across the room, and then a stranger's glance. Those brooding eyes, that suave manner, those tight trousers. He was the man I'd been waiting for all my life.
I'm glad he finally turned up after all these years.
Ah, but it wasn't to be. He was merely toying with my affections. And if I ever catch up with him, he's dead.
Ooh. Right, now that she's told us that, we want to show her the photograph.
Do you recognize the man in this photograph?
My God, it's him! That's Merlin.
She represented everything I loved about the English. The lady was totally deranged. Merlin? You mean King Arthur's wizard?
Good heavens, no! Monsieur Merlin is a fellow guest. He's the man I've been telling you about.
Oh.
That's the man who spurned me.
Oh dear. Oh, we'll ask him about him.
The man you know as Merlin is a fake.
What do you mean, sweetie?
He's a murderer. He also uses the name Khan.
I am shocked, Mr. Stobart. Shaken. I took him to be a gentleman, a man of honor. Do you know, I'd rather like to assist you in stitching him up.
Really? Well then in that case...
Would you distract the clerk while I borrow a key?
Are you asking me to aid you in a criminal act, darling?
Oh no, it's the key to an empty room.
And why, may I ask, do you wish to gain access to an empty room? Do you plan to squat?
No, ma'am.
Skirts on up?
I was never in the Boy Scouts, ma'am.
Oh, you should have been. What were your parents thinking of? It's a fine way for a boy to get licked into shape. Now tell me, why do you want to get into that room?
I'm hoping it's the key to Merlin's room.
Well, how can I refuse? I shouldn't think my feminine charms would be much use in this case, but a good dose of English arrogance might do the trick.
Lovely. We've got to help.
I say! You there! Flunky!
Oui, madame.
Listen carefully. You do understand English, don't you?
But of course, madame.
Good. I wish to deposit some jewellery for safekeeping.
I understand.
Are you quite certain?
Oh, bien sûr, madame.
Over to you, my dear.
Cheers very much, Lady Piermont. We'll just grab that key. Yoink. And now we'll go up to the room. Now the key is for this door here, so we want to use the key on it.
Maybe it wasn't the right room, but this was the right key.
Doesn't matter that it's the wrong room, George. We'll sort that out. You want to open the window. Yep, it sounds insane, but it's the only way in. Go on, George. Swallow your pride and do it. Go in the other open window. Thank God it's open. There we are. Now this is the right room. Now we want to open the door. To set off. This. Shit.
I had the kind of feeling in my stomach that would usually send me running to the bathroom.
Oh dear, George, you better hide. The wardrobe, George. Really? You couldn't be more original than that. Oh dear. Oh balls. Oh, come on. As if you couldn't see him in there. Dear me. For a murderer, he's not very perceptive. Right. Now, he's left the checkered pants behind, which go with the jacket. So, let's have a rummage in here. Oh, that sounds kind of wrong. Rummaging in someone's pants. What have we found?
I couldn't believe my luck when I found 2 items in the pockets of the pants.
Landed.
The first was an ordinary matchbook. No matches, no clues. The second was a pass card which read, Thomas Merlin, Gruber Electronics Corporation.
Interesting. Right, let's go back downstairs. We need to talk to our lovely charming friend, Lady Piermont, again. Follow the pointing finger, George. There we go. I'll talk to her again.
Hi, ma'am.
Hello, George. What can I do for you now?
Oh, so eager to help. Right. We'll show her the card.
I found this pass in Merlin's room.
So, that deceitful little man is passing himself off as an electrician, is he?
Uh-huh. This guy probably has 1,000,000 faces.
Right. Now, we'll ask her about him again.
When did you last see Merlin?
It was no more than an hour ago. He came downstairs and spoke to that clerk chappie. Something passed hands. I couldn't see what exactly.
A briefcase?
No, smaller than that. A bundle of papers, perhaps. The clerk put it in the hotel safe and Merlin went out.
Huh. A bundle of papers. Let's ask some more about that.
Are you sure you saw Merlin putting documents in the safe?
Yes, darling. Positive.
I wonder what they were.
Obviously something of great importance.
Yeah. I'd sure like to get my hands on whatever it is. I'll bet they had something to do with Plantar's briefcase.
Well, George, that's what we're going to do.
I have to go, ma'am.
Right. Let's go and talk to this Clark guy. Is he back? Oh, yes. There he is. Let's talk to him.
What now, monsieur?
That sounds so negative. Right. Click the safe.
I'd like to retrieve something from your safe.
Ah, oui, monsieur. May I see some form of identification?
Like what?
A driving license, perhaps?
I don't drive.
Your passport?
I don't have it with me. I could show you my operation scar.
I'm sorry, monsieur. I must have some form of unique ID.
You won't find a more unique ID than my scar.
I'm sorry. I must insist on a more traditional identification.
Rats.
Damn. Right, we'll show him the pass.
Does this pass mean anything to you?
That is Monsieur Merlin's property.
That's right. Merlin the murderer. I want to see what he's left in your safe.
Impossible. I cannot betray his confidence, no matter what you say he's done.
You're making a big mistake.
Maybe. I can live with that.
Ugh.
Thanks for your help, buddy.
Resilient little bugger. Right. Come on, Lady Piermont, we need your help again.
Hi, ma'am.
Hello, George. What can I do for you now?
You can help us get safe.
Would you like to keep Merlin's
get into the
pass
safe,
as a memento?
rather.
No, darling. My broken heart is reminder enough.
I showed the pass to the clerk, hoping he'd give me Merlin's papers, but he wouldn't buy it. He's too scared.
I'll give him something to be scared of. Follow me, George.
Woof. Determined this time. That's good, because we need those papers.
Did you place a package from Merlin in the hotel safe?
I did, madame.
And did my friend here show you Merlin's identification?
Indeed he did, but
What's the problem?
he isn't Merlin.
A mere academic detail. Give him the package.
But that is against the law.
I happen to be a justice of the peace, you silly man. I am the law. If he tries anything, shoot him, George.
My pleasure, Lady Piermont.
One moment, please.
Oh dear.
You know, I haven't enjoyed myself this much since Greenham Common.
I don't know what I would have done without you, Lady Piermont.
We'd be lost without
Voilà,
you.
monsieur. Le manuscrit de Monsieur Merlin.
Thanks.
How satisfying. An Anglo-American alliance that actually worked.
The clerk had given me a tightly rolled sheet of parchment. I decided not to unroll it until I was safely back in Nico's apartment.
That's a good idea, George. And we'll set about getting it back there in the next video. So, see you there, peeps.